about Matthew Stafford staying healthy, and if he does this year, maybe the Lions can turn that corner in year 3 under Matt Patricia. They add DeAndre Swift. Kerryon Johnson's already there. Jeff Okudah, a top 5 pick, should help that defense. You see the guys exiting stage left on the right of your screen. We're talking about the Lions now on a Monday edition of NFL Now with a guy that knows them well, played a decade on that offensive line, later won a Super Bowl ring, and now comes back full circle and works on their radio broadcast. Lomas Brown, it's good to see you. Got to start with this. How's football looking from where you sit in Michigan with rookies set to report this week? What's it like?
Andrew, thanks for having me. And it's tough. It really is. It's really up in the air of what's going to happen with the football season this year. I'm coaching high school. It's just so many things that we can and can't do that makes this so different and such a challenge. Can't touch the kids. Kids can't touch each other. You can't have balls out there. So, practice has looked real different. So we're just up in the air. We're like everybody else. This situation is fluid and we're just waiting. Hopefully we'll be able to lace them up in a couple of weeks in high school here.
And your high school's Bloomfield Hills. You coach the Blackhawks. You're trying to get those kids back on the field. And the Lions and every other NFL team try to get back on the field either this week or next week with the rookies or with the veterans. Lomas, curious, if you were playing now, how would you feel about going back to football after reading everything the players were tweeting over the weekend?
So many questions I would have if it was me. I look at the situation right now. We don't know if players that have it and have gotten through it, if they can catch it again, if they're asymptomatic. It's so many different things that us and the scientists don't know about this disease and about this virus that makes it so unpredictable as far as players being able to make decisions on what they want to do. I just know if it was me and say if it was a guy that I had to play against and he tested positive for the coronavirus, I'm just wondering if I would want to play up against that guy that, once he was able to come back, with the physical nature of the game, me taking a guy physically where he doesn't want to go, we're swapping blood, sweat, everything's being swapped. So to me, it's a tough decision, especially for older guys in the league too. Young guys, young guys are going to be able to probably go through this. The older guys, the coaches in this league, they should have questions, a lot of questions.
Yeah, and certainly there's a big age range when it comes to the coaches. You have the McVays and the Shanahans and the Zach Taylors on one side of the spectrum, and you have Pete Carroll, Bruce Arians on the other side of the spectrum. Let's talk about your coach there in Matt Patricia. The record through a couple of seasons, 9-22-1, and certainly the push from ownership late last year and again with the changing of the guard here during the summer was you got to win now, Lomas. But what is it going to take? What does a successful season look like for the Lions?
Well, to me, it's getting in the playoffs. Andrew, you have to. You think about this. It's been 60-plus years since we've seen a championship in this city. It's been since 1991 when we won a playoff game here, since the Lions had last won a playoff game. You got to get in the playoffs here, and I think you have to win when you get in the playoffs here. Look, this is coming from Bob Quinn and Coach Matt Patricia. Their standards are set high. These guys are coming from New England. They have high standards. A 10-6 season is an average season to guys like Coach Patricia and Bob Quinn. So they have the bar set high. So why shouldn't we as players, why shouldn't the fans, why shouldn't the bar be set high here? So I think success here would be getting in the playoffs and winning a playoff game, at least winning a playoff game.
You were part of that last playoff team. You had a pretty good running back there. God,
yes.
Had a birthday. What does this backfield look like, Lomas? And maybe from a fantasy perspective here, Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, who's getting more carries?
You know, I would think it would be Kerryon, since you would say he's been in the system more, even though he's been hurt over the last couple of years. You would say it would be him, but I do love Coach Darrell Bevell's approach. His approach is he's going to keep you on your toes. You don't know what you're going to get. Look, with DeAndre Swift, the guy that can hit the home run, the guy that you can get on the corner and let him get out to the edges. Then you got a guy like Kerryon that can do both. Kerryon can run between the tackles, and he can also get out on the edges. You got a guy like Bo Scarborough who's going downhill. That's the only way that guy knows how to run, is downhill. So you could change it up on guys, and that's a good thing when you have three capable guys that shows the defense three different looks. It's a good thing. It'll help those offensive linemen out up front.
Yeah, Bo Scarborough, get out of that man's way.
Yes,
he is the definition
He's
of an
always
angry runner.
down
If we could channel some GMFB
Absolutely.
here. Absolutely. Lomas, I got about 30 seconds. From what you understand, Matthew Stafford, again, 3-4-1 last year, missed half the season. The back is good. He's ready and good to go.
Look good. You know, he's selling his house. I don't know whether he's downsizing or upsizing, but that's a good thing. Just had another kid. That's baby number 4 right there. So, you know, he hit the 32 mark. So he's 32 years old. So, hey, man, he got a lot of things going for him right now. He has a city behind him that wants him to do well. That's the thing about it, Andrew. We want them to do well because we got a city, a state that's ready to get behind the Lions and cheer them on. So hopefully they'll be able to keep Matthew upright and keep him safe this year, because he is the key to how the Lions are going to finish and finish this year.
And I'm not shaming him for that house. That house is beautiful. But if he's upsizing that house, he's going to have to buy the Google campus or his own island. That house is spectacular. Google it, by the way, if you want to see it. It's pretty impressive.
That's right.
Lomas Brown, good to see you. The head coach at Bloomfield Hills High School in Michigan. Also, the Lions analyst on the radio.